Hello, everyone. Before we get into everything, I would just like to say that I apologize for what you're looking at. Yeah, since Fox is still streaming the after the post credits of the game, the post game, I cannot use the app because I would be recording said post game show, and that's not a good thing. So I downloaded the UFL app, right? And I can't change this. So yes, we are looking at light screen, even though the back screen is black. No, I don't like it. No, I don't want it to be like this. However, this is just going to be how the cookie crumbles. With that out of the way, welcome back to not only football reviews, but UFL reviews. Last year, I did all 10 games of the UFL. 10. I did all 10 Battlehawk games, plus the 3 postseason games. Of course, the Battlehawks lost in the XFL Championship to the Brahmas, who would go on to lose in the UFL Championship, against the USFL champions and 3-time reigning champions of their respective league and this league, the Birmingham Stallions. So, last year kind of ended on a sour note, and now we're back, and we made a statement on this first game. Now, as a fan of UFL and the thought of a spring football league, there are some things that need to be pointed out that are not of this game. Well, kind of this game. But as a whole, if I'm the director and I'm the owners of the league, I'm not putting this game in Houston Stadium. I would be putting this game, one, in the Battlehawks Stadium, if you're going to use the Battlehawks. And if you're not going to use the Battlehawks Stadium, let's say they're rented out, don't play with the Battlehawks first if you're not going to play them in their stadium. You guys might not know. You might not know anything about the UFL. But the Battlehawks are the most successful team when it comes to attendance and fans. Considering St. Louis got hoed by the Rams in their departure to Los Angeles. They've been wanting football back for a while now. And when the UFL started back up and the Battlehawks jumped into... Well, it was the XFL first. It wasn't the UFL. But when the XFL, or the UFL now, first started, a lot of people went to the Battlehawks games. They were huge. They're like last season, they were getting upwards of 30, 40K a game there, which is... it blows the rest of the league out of the water if you didn't know. And if you watched the game, it was evident there were not that many fans at the Roughnecks Stadium, and it really does not help either that they got their cheeks whooped. They got destroyed. So that's going to drive even less people away. The Rock, he wasn't there. We'll get to that. That's a whole other situation. But... if you're not, let's say the Battlehawks, their stadium's rented for something. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's not. Let's say their stadium's rented. What's your second best option? You go to DC. DC has a really, really good spring football community. They have their little beer snake thing. That's cool. And they usually get a lot of fans too. You could also take this to the Stallions. Again, 3-time reigning champions, 2 times in the USFL, and then 1 time in the merger UFL. You play with them, they necessarily don't break 10K, but they're still one of the best teams in the league. Heck, you even go with not the Florida Panthers, I'm thinking of the NHL. You even go with the Michigan Panthers. They can at least get 10K. when there's this big stadium and there's not a lot of people in it, and the stadium that the team hosts is getting whooped by a superior team, that's just not a good look. If I was directing a league, I would do Battlehawks Stallions in the Dome first, especially in such a pivotal year, and especially with the next problem we're going to get into. I think a whole bunch, 40K fans, all cheering over the Battlehawks, reigning champion Stallions. They won 3 in a row. I mean, there's many storylines there. That's just the perfect opener, in my opinion. And just go from that to what we had here. It's just not smart. Second thing, you guys want to know, because who really cares? Who really cares about the UFL that much to know in depth, really? Only diehard fans really do. I only see it in like a passing glance whenever I look at UFL, people talk about it. But apparently right now the players are not happy with how the UFL is run. Here's the problem with that. If the UFL is stingy and they don't up player pay, stuff like that, there's a potential that the players go on strike. And with how small the league is right now, if the players go on strike, that's the league. The league's done. The league won't have enough money. They won't be prepared. They won't be making money. I don't know what it was. Well, they do. So there's a big problem going on with like player compensation, player stuff to do with the players, and the owners aren't budging. And that's the big thing about Dwayne. He is the figurehead, basically. He's the figurehead of the UFL. He's the main guy, and he didn't show up today at the opening. If he shows up, there's a possibility that at least 10K people could at least be there. That's somewhat inspiring. He didn't show up, presumably because of all this stuff going on, and that's a concern too, because again, a strike is the end of the league. You're not coming back from that, especially in your infant stages. So they need to figure out something there too. So there are a lot of concerns, but there are also a lot of great things too. The Battlehawks, obviously, one of the biggest teams. Just give me a second. I need to switch over to Do Not Disturb. That's my bad. I honestly need to be more professional about that stuff. Yeah, I know. Don't at me at that. There are a lot of good things. It's fun. Spring football. I feel like more people are talking about it. It's a good thing to get it more open. Obviously, with the Battlehawks doing good, if the Battlehawks are doing good, the league's going to do good. Because the Battlehawks are the heart of the league, good or bad. And if they're not doing good, then the league's cooked. So it's good that the Battlehawks look really good today. Not saying that just because I'm a Battlehawks fan. But that the Battlehawks are basically the face of the league, even with the Stallions winning 3 in a row. Because the Battlehawks, they're inspiring, The whole thing about losing your team, getting it back through this new spring football league, and getting to watch a team in St. Louis after being hovered by the Rams, that's an inspiring story for the league. So, completely unbiased, it's good that the Battlehawks are good. Now on to biased. It's good that the Battlehawks are good because I'm happy. Battlehawks fan, obviously. There's not a team in Indiana, and I used to live in the St. Louis area. Not going to say which little city, obviously, but I used to live in the St. Louis area. And of course, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Missouri, Indiana, they just got that connection. I don't know what it is. They just have the connection. Battlehawks blue, Colts blue. I'm just saying, my boy Wilkins, he kind of looks like Richardson if he was better. He's not here because this dude got like a 70-yard touchdown, but we'll get to that. But, my boy Sailors, I don't know. I'm just saying he kind of looks like Jonathan Taylor the way he plays. He plays really well. A really good rushing team, and we'll see that with the stats, obviously. All around, good day. Offense, defense, even special teams. And it's really inspiring. It gives hope, obviously. You got to beat the Stallions. And most importantly, you got to come out of the XFL division. Not like last year, when you lost to the dang Brahmas at home. So, let's get into the stats. I've rambled on long enough. Overall box score. St. Louis Battlehawks scored 18 straight in the first 2 quarters. Silent in the third. Then they scored 2 more touchdowns to make it 31-0. Roughnecks did tack on an extra touchdown. But the game was over when it was 18-0. Honestly, they just didn't have any inspiration. Roughnecks had to change their QB. Not for changing their QB just to change the QB, but for changing the QB because they were doing terribly. Obviously, the Battlehawks, they have 2 main QBs, Manny Wilkins and my boy Max Duggan, TCU legend. He didn't get to play a lot. I expected Max Duggan to start, but apparently Wilkins started. And obviously, it's a pretty good thing that he did, because he played a really good game. 17-22, 189 yards, 0 passing touchdowns, but that doesn't say the whole story. The leading rusher for the Battlehawks, Howard, he had 13 attempts, 150 yards, and a touchdown. And this was basically off of like a 75-yard touchdown run. So, do with that what you will. And Pearson, he caught 6 balls for 83 yards. Of course, the Roughnecks had 2 QBs here. They had Brown in at first, Anthony Brown. He did not do good at all. He had 2 interceptions. Henderson came in. He played really well. 7 for 18, 68 yards on passing. But he was really good on the ground. He led on rushing for their team with 54. And he was the best passer with a passing touchdown, the only of the day on both teams. So Henderson, it kind of gave him that energy. It was way too late at that point. They needed it. They needed him to start, honestly, over the other guy. And then Hale, he caught the most. 5 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown. Those are the scoring plays. We'll get to the game summary after we look at the stats. I also kind of like how they have the drives. That's cool here too. Now on to total stats. Of course, we got to start with the Battlehawks first. Wilkins was the only passer. Duggan did come in, but he did not pass, obviously. Howard, leading rusher. Sailor's the main rusher of the team. He honestly deserves to be on an NFL team. When I watched him, I saw an NFL running back on a UFL team. He looked really good. He ran 16 times for 98 yards. He averaged 6.1 a carry. His long was 25, and he had a touchdown. Along with that, he was second in receiving, 4 catches for 47 yards. He honestly deserves to be in the NFL if he keeps this up, and I hope he does, obviously. So, Sailors, you keep this up, you might be playing on a like the Carolina Panthers or something. I think they have a good running back. You might be playing on the Giants. Who knows? Wilkins ran 8 times for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. So he's a good runner. One of them was a dive over. Obviously, you shouldn't dive over the whole O-line. That's not smart. But it worked out. And the other one, it was actually a really good run. It was on the one. He went around. He actually got tackled. Stayed on his feet. Little climb. Dived in the end zone. Good for him. He reminds me of Anthony Richardson. If Richardson can throw better. You know, Colts, Battlehawks parallels. I'm trying to influence y'all to be Battlehawks fans. Wilkins looked good. He did look good. Definitely better than last year. Last year we had A.G. McCarron, obviously STL legend. He's a very inspiring person. You know, he could have been on an NFL team. He turned down the money so his kids could watch him play. Of course, he went to the Bengals as a third stringer, but he never played. And obviously, he came back to our team in, like, I don't know when. He came back to our team. He obviously played good, but he got injured. Wilkins came in. He played a good one. Let me reword that. He played good one game, and then another game he did not play good. So it's good to see him play good. Very, very hopeful. Like to see the development, obviously. And of course, I don't know where Adrian McCarron's at right now. He might be on another team. I don't know. But all love to him. He is a legend in St. Louis. Wherever he is at. I hope he's doing okay. Duggan, he came in. He ran 3 for 12. Two of those were knees. He had one good run for 15 yards. That was good to see. And Jackson, he ran 1 for 5. For receiving, Pearson obviously led in receiving, 83 yards. Darby caught 2 for 32. Howard caught 3 for 18. Allen and Sutherland both caught 1 ball. But Allen had 1 more yard, so he's the better tight end. For the defense, Peyton Jones had 3 total tackles, the most on the day. I'm going to butcher this. Taiamu Penu. He had 2 total tackles, but he also had 2 sacks and assists for 3 total sort of QB hits, per se. When they scored that touchdown, they went for a 4th and 12. You can do that in a UFL. It's actually the only way you get the ball back. And Penu committed a face mask, and that got him the first down. So, obviously, he needed to make up for that. And he got 2 sacks on that drive, including the game-sealing sack. So, respect to him, he got that back. Sebastian, 2 tackles. Fakakasi, I think I said that one pretty well. Probably wrong, I don't know. 2 tackles, 1 assist. Dennis and Cole both had the interceptions. Both of them also had 2 assists. Jones also had 2 assists. O'Reilly, 1 tackle. Pesafena, he had 1 sack. Akimoladun, he had an assist. Harvey had an assist. Feeney had an assist. Meadors had 3 assists. Follow had 2 assists. Rose had 2 assists. And Wells had 2 assists. So it's like tackle, assisted tackle, sack, interception, forced fumble. I kind of like how they do it. Kick return, Bo Jackson. I don't think it's actually Bo. He's actually Bo Jackson. I kind of just said that. He had 1 return for 17 yards. And for some reason, they're not showing my boy Rodrigo Blankenship. I don't know why. He had 2 field goals. He did pretty well. I don't know why they're not showing him here. I think they need to fix that. Henderson, Brown, 2 QBs. Henderson, obviously the better day. 7 for 18, 68 yards and a touchdown. Brown, 5 and 11, 21 yards, 2 interceptions. Not good. Henderson also led in rushing, 4 for 54. Brown, he had 1 good run for 20 yards. Merritt had 8 for 16. Lingard had 3 for 4. So, not a good day at all for the running offense of the Roughnecks. The QBs carried, and the running backs did not do good. They need to get a running back somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know how you find a running back as a UFL team, but they need to find a running back somewhere. For receiving, obviously Hall led 540 and a touchdown. Chisholm caught 2 for 19. He also forced a PI. Butler caught 1 for 16. Cortland Sutton, I don't know why Cortland Sutton's here, but apparently he's... Nah, I'm joking. Sutton, he caught 1 for 7. Merritt caught 2 for 5. And Keys, he caught 1 ball for 2 yards. For the defense, Tyler had the most total tackles on the day with 6 for the Roughnecks. He also had 2 assists. Lewis had 1 assist and 5 tackles. O'Neal had 4 tackles and an assist. Moody had 4 tackles and an assist. Arnett had 4 tackles and a sack. Isaac had 3. Elder had 3 and 1. Roby had 3 and 2. Williams had 3 and 2. Franklin had 3 and 2. Preston had 2. Vaughns had 2 and 3. Jones had 2. Okiaduma had 1 and 1. Allen had 1. Sagapalu had 1. Wilson had 1. And Logan and Entween had assists, but not tackles. For kick returns, Merritt had 4 returns for 79 yards, and Keys had 1 for 25. For the punting, by the way, Battlehawks did not punt once. Rivers punted 4 total times for 194 yards. His long was 51, and he was inside the 20 one time. Now back to the box score for the game summary. Battlehawks had 64 total plays. Roughnecks had 48. Absolute demolition on every side of the ball, other than fourth down efficiency. They both went for 0-2. For total yards, 460 to 170. Yards per play, 7.2 to 3.5. The Battlehawks had 5 for 60 penalties. They were really bad in holding. I don't know why they were so bad at holding, but they had like 3 holds in like the first quarter. Roughnecks, only 3 for 20. Third down conversion, 8 for 12 for the Hawks, 6 for 13 for the Roughnecks. Passing, 189 passing yards to 89 for the Roughnecks. 1 passing touchdown for the Roughnecks, obviously. Rushing, the Battlehawks absolutely blew it out the water. 41 attempts, 273 yards. The rushing was so dominant that the app won't even show me how many attempts they had. That's crazy. I can't even put it sideways to check. They had some amount of attempts for 94 yards. Battlehawks had 4 rushing touchdowns. The Battlehawks also had the ball for 35 minutes, while the Roughnecks only had it for 25. 24 first downs for the Battlehawks to 11 for the Roughnecks. 12 passing first downs to 4 for the Roughnecks. 11 rushing first downs to 5 for the Roughnecks. Gotta point this out, obviously. There were 2 times in that second quarter that we had a 3rd and 18. And we picked up both. So, one of them was a run. One of them was a screen. Just had to kind of bring that up. 2 3rd and 18s, and you didn't stop them. That's embarrassing. That just shows how bad they were doing. And they even show penalty first downs. And the Battlehawks had 2, and the Roughnecks had 1. So, really good game for the Battlehawks. You like to see it, man. You like to see it. Battlehawks obviously start up 1-0. And luckily, it shows the specific team schedule. So, obviously, the next game, Brahmas, the team that knocked us out last year on FS1. Then, the Defenders. Then the Renegades. Then the Panthers, who, by the way, had that 65-yard kick to beat us in Week 1. Still sick of that, but I love seeing Jake Bakes in the NFL. He's done really well for the Lions, so respect. Then we play the Renegades again. Then we play Showboats. And then, mark the calendar, Saturday the 17th, that's Stallions and Battlehawks Day at the Dome of America Center. Biggest game of the season. 2 best teams of the season, obviously. That's going to be a fun game to watch. Battlehawks Brahmas, and then the Battlehawks and Defenders. If you can see, both the Brahmas games are at the Dome. There's been problems with like the Brahmas schedule, I believe. So, let's be honest. They wanted the Battlehawks to have more home games. Let's be fully honest with ourselves. They want to show that off. The first away game is Game 4 against the Renegades, obviously. And again, then there's 2. Then there's an away game. Then there's 2. Then there's an away game to end the season. So, obviously, Battlehawks. Biggest team. But, of course, the Brahmas. Next opponent. Home opener. Love to see it. If I go to team... Now, here's the problem, because I can't see the full schedule now. So, that's amazing. They should have the full schedule, even if you choose a team. That's my problem. Like, let's say I wanted to see the tomorrow schedule. So, quick detail. Alright, welcome back. Quick detour, obviously, over to... What is this? The Fox Sports app. Brahmas Renegades, tomorrow at Saturday at 4. I will go over that game too. Actually, I'll be uploading this at 12. What am I saying? Today. Today I'll be doing that one too. And then the problem comes in when there's an ESPN game, because I cannot watch ESPN games. Panthers, Showboats, Stallions, Defenders. Stallion Defenders should be a good game, obviously. But there's kind of the schedule. I don't like how the app doesn't let you share that. But that is all I have for today. I'll see you guys, I guess, soon, obviously. And peace.